Las Vegas by Rudiger Dorn is a great game which very easily takes a position in some of my favorite games that are good to pull out in any situation, and just about everybody I know that has played it enjoys it and will play it again. Let's check it out. Las Vegas is a game for 2 to 5 players that takes probably 30 to 45 minutes in its entirety to play. Inside the box you find the instructions. They're pretty simple and I should be able to handle that for you. There are 5 different sets of playing dice in 5 different colors. Each player is going to take one set. Then there's the deck of money cards which will be going out to each different casino in the game. This is what you're trying to get. The objective is to get as much money as you can at the end of the game. Then there's a first player marker card. You can decide how you want people to go first, maybe the last person in a casino or the person who has the biggest gambling debt. If somebody lost a finger to a card shark, I think it's just guaranteed they're going to go first. Then you've got the 6 actual plaques for the casinos in the game. The premise of this game is that each player is a different super wealthy person going to the different casinos in Las Vegas and gambling as much as possible, because we all know that's how you win money in Las Vegas. To set the game up, you're going to put all 6 of these out on the board in front of you, and it's a good idea to actually have them in numerical order. It would be awfully difficult to keep things straight if you didn't. It's worth noting that it's really easy to add a 6th person to this game if necessary, simply by putting in a unique and distinguishably different set of dice. Regardless of the color, as long as you can tell them apart, you're all good. To get the money started in our casinos, we're going to start turning over cards for each casino in order until we get a total of at least 50,000 per casino. Once we do, we'll start turning cards over for the next casino. So if I've got 30,000, I need more here. I'm going to turn over another, but once I've got 100, that's plenty. We're going to move to the next casino. 10, 30, whoa, 120. Once that's done, you've got the setup for the game complete, and you're ready for the first person to start taking their turn. Each player in turn is going to take all of their dice and roll all of them at once. Then you have to choose one of the denominations that you have rolled and put all of those dice forward towards the corresponding casino. So in this case, I'm looking at a couple of 5s, a 4, several 3s, and a couple of 2s. So I have to choose one of these types to put forward. So at this point, I can look forward and say, yeah, I can put, 3 dice toward this, but I'm only going after a 60,000 here if I'm going for the lead. I can take a couple of dice and go for this one over here where the 90,000 is. Put the money for the big bucks. I can only put one number forward, and I have to put all of that number when I choose it. If I chose to put 3s out but said, oh, I really only want to put 1 3 out. Nope, can't do that. I'd have to put all of them out there at once. So in this case, let's suppose I put a couple of 2s out here. My turn is now done, and it passes to the next player who will do the same thing. They will roll their dice and choose which one they want to put out there. Oh, hey, look at that. They got a whole crud load of 2s. So maybe they decide to go that route and say, okay, they're throwing their 2s out here. So we're now fighting over this one. But their turn is done. When it comes back to my turn, I might end up rolling some more 2s, and I might make this advantageous for me to try to get the win out of this. But it's going to cost me more of my dice. So I might try to use my efforts elsewhere, hoping to pick up more money and then eventually make up for the loss of not winning this one. Got myself a couple of 3s. I did get myself a 2, but is it really worth it? Maybe I throw one out there for that nice 70,000. You never know. Players keep taking their turns this way until everyone has run out of all of their dice. And since the number of dice that you put forward is going to be different for each player, some people will get rid of all of their dice in just a couple of turns, and others will end up taking several turns longer. But you do have to put forward one number every time it's your turn. You can't choose to pass. You have to put forward one number and one only, and all of the dice of that number. Now the part about this game that's really intriguing, the part that will make you scream and cheer and probably want to play again as soon as you've finished, is how the scoring goes once everyone has used all of their dice. Probably pretty obvious that whoever has the most dice on a certain location is going to get the highest valued money. The person with the second most dice is going to get the second highest money. In this case, red's going to pull themselves the 60,000 and white's going to pull themselves the 30,000. The interesting part is when two people tie with exactly the same number of dice, because those two players, or three or four, don't get anything. Those dice are removed and don't even count for the purposes of scoring. So in a situation like this, where I'm down to my last die roll, which means whatever I roll, I've got to put forward because I don't have any other choices. If I manage to roll a 2 on that and end up tying black, white and black won't get anything. Red is now the person with the most dice here, and they will end up scoring the 90,000 for coming in with one tiny little die to sneak under everyone else when they were unfortunate enough to tie. This aspect of the game is really what makes it the most fun. And it's far more enjoyable when you have more people playing in the game, which is why I suggest throwing in a 6th person. But if you do, it's probably best to go ahead and bump up the dollar amounts per casino. I tend to go for 70,000 per casino, and sometimes to make things crazy, you bump it up to like 90, just to have some fun, see how it goes. The higher dollar amounts lean toward casinos that will have more second and third place options, where yeah, you want to go for 80,000, but even if you're second, it's 40,000. It ends up making this seem a little more enticing when you have that second place consolation prize that isn't really bad. Still makes it worth it. If you get a chance, play this game because it's a lot of fun and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Have fun, and until next time, keep playing. From someone who was a professional casino dealer for several years, this is how you properly pitch a poker card. Hold it between your thumb and your index finger, right on the very corner, right there. Then you use your bottom, your middle, or your combination of fingers to kick the card away from your hand. So all you got to do with your thumb on your left hand, is push the little corner out enough for you to grab, and then you can kick it. Can't hit the camera with a single frickin' one, can I? Okay, I'm way out of frickin' practice, but you still get the general. Yeah, I hit the other camera, not the one that's recording right now. Perfect. Ooh, ooh. Got a couple of decent shots in there, finally. And I'm out.